Welcome to the NBA Coast to Coast podcast brought to you by lineups.com. Nate and Josh coming to you here for Tuesday's NBA slate. Got 6 games on the docket. Just one team on the back-to-back. We'll have Detroit there against Atlanta. Going to talk about a little bit of stuff here that has to do with some best bets. Got some sides and totals. Also got the player props for you in this one episode. Bringing all that stuff to you in one each and every weekday moving forward. So make sure to subscribe to that channel. Follow along all season with us. Let's get into this Spurs and Memphis game that we've got here, Nate, and a couple guys going to be missing, like big names that you might have heard of, such as Wemby and John Morant for Memphis as well.
Yeah, I mean, which isn't giving you a ton of value, I suppose. I mean, the Spurs might maybe be minus 9.5. Would they be more than that with Wemby?
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Wow, the most amazing question you could ask: how many points is Wemby worth?
Yeah. But I mean, I think books are wise to this idea of spot betting at this point anyway, and stars out bets up, which is what we're talking about here. It's the end of a 5-game road trip for Memphis. It's the 4th of a 5-game homestand for San Antonio. And look, they're still a better team, even without Wembanyama, even without Stephon Castle. They have Fox, best player on the floor here. They have veterans. They have Luke Cornett to fill the void, at least as a tall body. And what do the Grizz have? I mean, they have Edie on a minutes restriction. They have Jaren Jackson doing whatever the heck he's doing, and a bunch of young wings. I mean, this team is just listless. It's probably helpful to not have Ja in there, so you at least get full effort from everybody. But just where's the offense going to come from? I mean, the 29th in offensive rating the last 8 here, and not a good rebounding team either. I guess Edie's going to help with that, but still, the second most second chance points allowed is a problem against the Spurs. They're 1-8 ATS as an underdog this season, and 1-5 on the road, losing by 14 points per game. So it's really like before you even see who's in or out for the Spurs, you're thinking like, how do I bet against Memphis on the road right now? And if it's under a touchdown, so to speak, I think you just take the home favorite.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm with it. I mean, the only thing would be stars out, bets up on the other side as well. Memphis did their thing the other day. It was Cleveland, right? Yeah, they were beating Cleveland by double digits for a lot of that game after Ja went down. Ja looked like he was about to have a good game too. I don't want to like trash him. He was already like playing pretty well to start. So like I did think he was actually on the road to recovery, we'll call it, on the road to turning things around for him in his relationship with Isola, for maybe his relationship with his teammates or the fans or whatever's going on that seemed like discontent was going on. Like he seemed like he was starting to get maximum effort. He was starting to get like 33, 34, 35 minutes. And I think that was going to help them look really good against Cleveland. They kept that momentum going. And then Cleveland was like, wait a second, like we have just 3 guys that are better than any of the guys that you're putting out here right now. So, I do think like the Spurs are still going to have a way better roster out there. They're going to have a really good team. And this is like the same quality of like Heat culture. The Spurs just aren't quite as lame as Miami. So they don't have their own saying for it, but they have the internal fortitude that Miami has as well, if not more so. So let me get to this Magic game. Warriors are in Orlando in this one. I might have been wrong about the Magic. They still got time to turn it around, but they don't look great. And like the Paolo not being around did not, like the detraction of Paolo is what I'm looking for, didn't help. Like it wasn't like Paolo's out and this is going to be a gluier, nicer, stickier, gooder team. Like it was never going to be that way without Paolo. The underlying metrics still showed that he's all of their best lineups, right? The thing for the Dubs is, yeah, they're on this road trip now, and I'm not too worried when you see Moody playing the way that he did the other night. That basically gave everybody a breather, and I think the Dubs are still like pretty much fresh and good to go at this point. So I don't think they're 3 points, only 3 points better, I should say, than this Magic team on the road. And obviously like the Magic were starting to turn things a little bit better on offense. But if you look at the Dubs on the road, like they definitely pick things up themselves. Steph is definitely going to continue to carry the load as much as he needs to until a guy like Moody shows up and hits like 6 threes in the first quarter or whatever insanity it was. Like there's going to be guys that are still coming in and doing that for the Dubs. And that's a key thing in terms of the shooting, is that like the offense for the Magic has been brutal. We've talked about it. It's still bottom 10, and it's still going to be one of the worst 3-point shooting teams in the league. Jalen Suggs is questionable, has actually been their best 3-point shooter. So now what? Like now you're hoping Tristan Da Silva, who has not shown up in games without Jalen Suggs, if he doesn't play, Anthony Black is not a 3-point shooter. So you're still worried about a team that like if they have good on-ball guards, they don't have shooters ready to spot up against the Dubs team that still does give up a decent amount of spot ups. This is a team that you don't worry about taking advantage of that.
Yeah, if Suggs can't play, that's a big problem, obviously, against Steph, who can just will this team to victory against lesser teams. What's up with the training staff in Orlando? You had oblique last year, and now both Paolo and Suggs strained groin, and potentially could be missing both of them.
What
But
are
yeah,
the odds?
can't keep your guys upright. But I mean, I think the important thing here is like the Magic's offense is far fewer dimensions. I won't say one dimensional, but it's very just like get downhill, right? And when you're playing through Franz, and the Warriors are still have that beautiful movement that they can compromise the defense in different ways. So it's definitely the right team favored here. Celtics to win, for sure. They're in Brooklyn. Well, let's get Peyton Pritchard in on the act. 15 plus points. I mean, his core prop is 16 and a half. So this is not a huge under in terms of his points. And we're already at even money though if you just add him to score. And basically the theory here is Pritchard has struggled at times being inserted into the starting lineup. He no longer gets to face the second unit, right? Well, he's playing Brooklyn. He gets to face only second unit caliber players. They do not have starters on this team, so go ahead and have fun there. I mean, that it follows that the last blowout against the Memphis Grizzlies, by the way, he had 24 points on 8 of 15, and then it was the confidence went up. So then he scored 30 against the Clippers in a closer one. He's been pretty consistent lately, other than the initial like slump in terms of adjusting to being a starter, right? I mean, we're talking 15 plus in all of his games except Orlando, Houston, and one bad one at Philly. So it's not going out on a big limb to say he can get this against the Nets, the worst team in the league, worst defense in many different departments, and he has thrived. A couple starts, mostly coming off the bench against the Nets, 20.6 points per game, 58-55% splits in his last 5 against them. So this is a Pritchard spot, like the human victory cigar we used to call them. Well, now he's just going to be part of the starting lineup, doing the work here against Brooklyn.
Yeah, it makes sense. I can see him doing a lot of everything too. Like I wouldn't even mind the PRA necessarily for Pritch in this one, but not going to be a game I'm going to be tuning into. Probably going to tune into this one later in the evening here as we talk about the Jazz and the Lakers here. And like Isaiah Collier, I don't know if this is going to maintain its 6 assists. It opened at like 5.5. He did get 37 minutes the other night in the overtime game where there was 297 points scored between the Bulls and the Jazz a couple nights ago. And I just like now we're coming up against the Lakers. Lakers haven't been that bad in the last like 3-4 games on the perimeter. They've got LeBron and Gabe Vincent both listed as questionable in this one. I actually don't have I haven't seen yet, like either way. I don't have a lean in terms of if LeBron plays, but it's not really relevant to Isaiah Collier, who is now still at a potential assist it's almost every minute, but it's slowed down because he played 37 in this last game, his most on the season, but he's been basically at one every other minute in terms of the potential assists that he's playing with. We know what this is. Like, I'm still just going to take this 7.5 is just where I put his assists. I don't even know if I have to put a minutes next to him. I think it's just like if he's on the floor, the ball will be in his hands on offense, and he will be looking to get an assist off of that. Whether the Jazz make their shots or not is another thing. But I do think that it's just going to be another good amount of scoring overall, because that's what the Jazz do. They're one of the best teams to play against to get points. The Lakers, like, I mean, I don't know what to do with them, but I know that they're much better than this team. And I know that when Reaves and when Doncic are on the court together right now, they are still a very imposing force. You're going to talk about Reaves, man. Freaking unbelievable. Stockton, Austin Stockton Reaves, essentially, with the way that he's diming up. Just what a wonderful way to sort of play off of Luka for him now. Like, he is sort of the Kyrie off of Luka, but he's looking to pass and not get his own still once he gets the imbalanced defense in his favor. The Lakers they should handle business here. They've handled business against bad teams. Well, I don't want to call the Jazz a bad team because they still will like give teams fits, and they've got guys on their roster that you've heard of that are good at basketball. They're still not going to be in the same league as the Lakers, who, when they're looking to win and take things seriously, like they will be, like DeAndre Ayton's going to dominate that night. There's nothing the Jazz can do to stop stuff down low. So it'll still be a Lakers show, but Collier going Collier. That's what I'll say.
Yeah, and he usually gets more run with the second unit when it is out of hand. That's what part of the cap there. Yeah, I mean, the Jazz are not a good team on the road. I think you can say pretty consistently. It's we'll see if they can maintain some of the effort they've shown so far this season. But yeah. On the other side of that is AR, like you said. Yeah, we get value on the assists because LeBron did practice in full. It's probable he's going to play. I mean, he's listed questionable, but probably in the 20 to 25 minutes range, as you see with these veterans coming back. And even when he's out there, yeah, I mean, we see now AR's learning how to play off of Luka, and if he has two guys to play off, it could be more of an advantage for him in terms of when he gets the ball and when the defense is tilted. And he's looking to dime up, like you said. I mean, he did still average exactly 5.5 when Braun played last year. It dipped when there was both Braun and Luka. But this year, with Luka, 7.5 times a game, the usage is down to be consistent with what you're saying there. Over in 6 of his last 8 with Luka, the unders, a smackdown at OKC, a comfortable win over Memphis, and the passes. I mean, he's only 4 passes fewer than Luka, only 3 fewer potential assists. Luka looks to score more. Reaves, yeah, he gets in there and he will throw those lobs like that. That's basically the most effective passing, right? And Utah without Walker Kessler has kind of been a disaster in terms of, rotating and giving things up near the rim. 5th worst opponent field goal percentage without him. 2nd most assists per game, 30.7 per game. And like you said, just played an insane shootout on Sunday with plenty of stats to go around on that one.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, I don't think LeBron gets more than 20. He's at 26.5 PRA, which I think the books are basically that projection is like 25 minutes for LeBron in that one. I don't know how close this is going to be. I'm not going to like get a whole bunch of like stock in overs, but if I'm going to take something for someone in the starting lineup like this with the assumption that LeBron's playing, then this is what makes the most sense because 24 points is pretty high. 24.5 points for Austin is going to be pretty high if he gets like, let's say 30, 31 minutes, not even, let's say, 28 if it is a super blowout, which I'm not ready to go with, but 12.5 points spread tells you the market does not think it's going to be a really close game. But speaking of games that will not be super close, Jordan Walsh is on the Celtics. I don't expect things to remain close with the Nets. I think they surprised whoever it was in the Cup game the other day. They hung around, they played pretty well, and then ended up going blown out.
Toronto,
Yeah. So it's still going to happen again. And Boston, like they've shown that like they'll beat up on teams that are down, and I mean they just whooped on Memphis as well. They had a couple games like that this season where they've blown out teams by like 20, 25. So I think once it gets going for them, then it gets going. But this dude's pretty blowout proof at this point, even when he is in the starting lineup. The only reason he didn't get minutes the other day in a blowout that the Celtics had was that he had like 4 fouls in the first 3 quarters, and then the game was over by then end of the 3rd quarter. So the minutes are the key here. But like this dude is hustle points. Man, hustle points and hustle rebounds. Really, really good rebounding. Still listed as a guard, but like rangy all over the place dude that has been getting good rebound chances in his minutes. Like just in this last game, I believe it was like 12 rebound chances on the 8 boards that he had. Got pretty full minutes for Boston in that one as well. And I think that's going to be the case here. I just think people aren't like recognizing that he's getting the minutes and getting the time. Like I said, 33 minutes in that early start against the Clippers there. And like the shots, like he's not going to get a ton of shots, but this is another thing where it's like, I think the offensive rebounds will be there for Jordan Walsh in this one, which means putbacks as well. You could potentially add that like assists is like 1.5. And there is correlation between him getting those offensive rebounds and maybe kicking it back out to shooters and whatnot. So if you wanted the PRA, fine. I don't even think it's listed yet. So I just think the rebounds are something that like we're still getting value on at like 5.5 because he's getting that many rebound chances. And this isn't like an awesome rebounding team, by the way, for Boston. So like they need the help coming off of the guards and the whole rebounding like team unit as opposed to just one guy getting all the boards for them.
Yeah, so I mean, maybe rebounds and assists if you are, if he's just going to be out there hustling, like you said. I mean, is this the Celtics? Is this where we've come to that
Yeah.
that we have this dude out here who doesn't shoot threes? Yeah, it's just such a different team from last year,
Yeah.
right? I mean, he could not sniff the floor because it's like, well, dude, are you gonna shoot threes? Are you gonna drive and kick?
Right.
And it's like, no, these are the hustle Celtics, right? And so it's a good night for that against the Brooklyn Nets. This man is quite an athlete, quite just a damn all around good basketball player. I think if I didn't have concerns that Memphis ownership was in some way in Isolo's ear, telling him who he has to play, I think Vince Williams would be playing a lot more, right? I mean, if you just strictly wanted to win basketball games, but I mean, we do know Coward and Zach Edey are on minutes limits right now. I was looking at Seti Coward initially, who is at 12.5 PR. And I think, it's definitely still a good look. Both these guys are going to be in positions to succeed. against the Spurs. The rebounds will be easier to come by, of course, without the Eiffel Tower alien out there. The Spurs are really bad guarding the corner three, though, and that's the thing. And Vince has been hitting 50% of his corner threes in the last 6. Cedric Howard is at 15%, and Vince is also leading the team in 3-point attempts in the last 3, 8 for 19. He's implied minus 190 to hit at least 2 here. And the last time Ja was out, he went 3 for 12 from 3 at Boston, en route to 12 points and 6 boards. Enough here. Last 3 with no Ja going back to last season, 27 points, rebounds per 36. Only played 21 minutes in those. Now he's around 25, 26, pretty much even timeshare with those other wings as he comes off the bench. But I just think in this matchup against the Spurs team that's going to have a lot of size on the wing. I mean, even when they don't have Wemby, they still have size, right? They got Barnes, Sohan, guys like that. I just think you need Vince Will to match up more than the young bucks like Jalen Wells and who is it? Cam Spencer? Which Spencer is this?
Yes,
Grizzlies?
Cam. Pat is the lacrosse player who is on the Warriors.
Are they? Yes.
Yes,
No
yes, they are. Yes. I'm pretty sure. I'm really bad at this. I thought the Bogdanoviches were related once, so let's not go down that path. They're not even from the same country. Vince Williams is awesome. I wish he got, like, if I was at pickup, right, I'm like, give me that guy, right, for sure, especially because I just want to shoot. So, like, I'm happy to get Vince Will on my team because he's going to do everything else and he's going to do it super well, including guard. So yeah, I'm here for all the Vince Will stuff. I think there's definitely a lane for him because we've got Coward and Edey on this clear minutes restriction for now. Then yeah, there's just going to be another 40 minutes available for other guys, 45 minutes, and Vince Will is going to eat into that big time. So let me close out here with that game as well and talk about does Luke Cornett have a nickname? You would know. He's from the Celtics, but I don't think so.
I know he does the eclipse technique when he just jumps to obscure the basket.
That's what he's known for. He's known for jumping at you from the foul line while you're at the 3-point line just to try to bother your shot, which is hilarious. Yeah, I still think he's going to be out there for another like 28 to 32 minutes. And I do think he is out there for all the 80 minutes is a big part of this, right? So you got a guaranteed 25 right there for him. And then after that, like, yeah, if Memphis is going to attack the rim and your defense is super predicated on forcing guys off the 3-point line because you're delivering them to an alien like Wemby, well, this is the only other dude who can achieve anything close to protecting the rim to that level, and it's not even close. Let's be honest, nobody's close. But this is the best we can do, and it's what we've got here. If we're the Spurs, and he's a big dude, right? He's still decent enough at this. The rebounds, like you could make a case that like like the points are just high, like 10.5 points. I'm not taking that for Luke Cornett, even though he's had like a handful of games of like 3 games, but he's also had like 3 games going over because he was with Wemby, who would just dime him up because everyone just comes to the top of the key to guard Wemby, and then Luke Cornett just slips down and gets buckets that way. I'm not taking him to do that now. That's not going to be his game. He's, might be screening for De'Aaron Fox, but it's going to be a little bit different. I think the boards are the way to go. And although there will be the need to like contest shots to a degree, this defense is still just going to be running out, like you said, like between Sohan, I'm not even going to talk about Harrison right now, but between Sohan and KJ, especially Keldon Johnson, and then also Champagny is going to be out there. That's like, 3 dudes that are all going to be out on the wing that like play bigger than they are, that are very good rebounders for their positions as well. And so they're also going to be able to sort of help out on the other guys that are driving. I don't think Luke Cornett has to be the guy that comes in and swats everything. They're going to be a little bit better suited because all those guys I just mentioned, by the way, besides Champagny, were hurt for most of the start of this season between Sohan and Keldon Johnson. Helpful time to get them back because you don't have Wemby now. And now your rotation is going to be a little bit better on the wings. That's going to leave some more shots missed, etc. So I do think Cornett on the boards is still okay. Even though they'll ask him to rim protect a bit, they'll also be relying super heavily. There's so many rebounds to go around. There's so much stats to go around now. And I think he eats up a bunch of that in 28 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely at least has to match Edey's minutes, right? I mean, they need his presence down there. I mean, if you could do rebounds plus screen assists, I'd be all over that, right? He's just going to be out there screening for De'Aaron Fox. So I like Fox here to stay hot after he got his revenge against the Kings, and that's part of why I like the Spurs.
Maybe some dribble handoff stuff too. Maybe like an assist play for here. I'll get spicy with it later. I'll take a look. But either way, that's all the time we have for you guys. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel, bringing best bets and player props to you guys every day now moving forward. So until we see you next, happy betting.